where shadows speak and fears meet. Welcome to the Queen of Mystique. So, there's me, a 27-year-old living in this oldish apartment building on a less than stellar side of town. Rent's affordable, but you also get what you pay for in terms of the neighbors and overall safety vibe. One thing I've kept from childhood is this little ritual of watching late-night TV shows right in my living room with a bowl of popcorn. It's a silly thing, but it's my way of unwinding. So, this one night, I'm engrossed in some old reruns when I spot a flash of movement outside my ground floor window. The drapes were half open, and this old-fashioned bike's parked right outside. It's odd because I rarely see anyone stopping by this late, especially not on a motorcycle. Before I can process that, there's a shadow moving outside the window. Now, it's not entirely uncommon for homeless folks or drunks to wander about, so I tried to convince myself it was just that. But then the silhouette seemed to pause, and it felt like someone was peering in, watching me. Cue full-on anxiety mode. I ducked down, hoping they hadn't noticed me, but the light tapping started on the window pane, soft and rhythmic, like they were testing the waters, seeing if I'd react. I dialed the cops, my voice barely a whisper as I explained the situation, praying the intruder wouldn't hear me. As I hid behind my couch, waiting, the tapping grew more urgent, transitioning to what sounded like full-on knocking. After what felt like an eternity, I chanced another peek. The bike was still there, its chrome reflecting the dim glow of the streetlight, but the shadowy figure had vanished. I thought it might just be a local kid attempting some ill-conceived prank. But when the police finally arrived and searched the property, they didn't find anyone. They did end up stumbling on a small bag close to my window. Inside were lock-picking tools and a few small, unmarked vials. The police took my statement and conducted their routine procedures, swabbing for fingerprints on the bag. But deep down, a part of me felt that these efforts never leads to them catching anyone. I've since moved apartments, but the oppressive memory of that night refuses to fade. Each unexpected sound in my new place, every fleeting shadow at dusk, serves as a chilling reminder. Vigilance is paramount regardless of how safe one feels. Our home's walls might offer a semblance of protection, but they cannot truly shield us from the unseen threats lurking just outside. Roughly 2 years ago, I moved into this vintage-looking apartment on Elm Street. Yeah, I know Elm Street, right? But trust me, this is no Freddy Krueger story. This building had an old-world charm, with its wooden staircases, large archways, and the slightly dusty scent of the past lingering in the corridors. My unit was on the second floor, across from this old, rusty elevator that looked like it had seen better days. Every night, around midnight, I'd hear the distinct ring of the old-fashioned telephone installed in my living room. The previous tenant, an older woman, had left it behind, saying it was a family heirloom. The sound always jolted me awake, but it would stop when I'd rush to answer. There is no caller ID, no redials, just silence. This became a routine. Midnight, ring, silence. One evening, after a particularly tiring day, I camped next to the phone, hoping to catch the elusive caller. As the clock hands met at 12, the phone rang. Heart pounding, I answered. A soft, trembling voice, like that of an old woman, whispered, "Is Clara there?" Before I could reply, she continued, Tell her not to take the elevator tomorrow." And then the line went dead. Utterly spooked, I barely slept that night. The following day, dizzy and anxious, I decided to heed the warning and took the stairs. There was a loud crash when I was about to exit the building. The elevator had malfunctioned and crashed to the ground floor. Had someone been inside, it would have been fatal. The day after the accident, I received a letter with no return address. Inside was a photo of the previous tenant, the older woman, standing beside another woman. A message on the back of the photo reads, "Clara, my dear sister, thank you." Clara was the older woman's sister who had tragically died in an elevator crash in the same building decades ago. After that incident, the midnight calls stopped. But sometimes, in the dead of night, I still hear the faint whisper of two sisters united in the afterlife, looking out for the living. Thanks so much and sticking around till the end. If you enjoyed this video and want more content like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Your support means the world to me and helps me bring more spine-chilling stories your way. Until next time, stay curious, stay vigilant, and as always, stay safe out there.